All right, our game of the week, Findlay at Clay, the first ever appearance, back-to-back first ever appearances for game day tailgate this week at Clay, and a new life Findlay Trojans team. We talked about life post-Montgomery. We're done talking about that because Landon 𝗦𝗽𝗶𝗵𝘁𝗀 is here, and maybe they got the answer in the freshman quarterback.
Yeah, and Coach John Gaius told me from Clay's point of view and looking at the tape, he said, yeah, Landon 𝗦𝗽𝗶𝗵𝗁, a freshman, reminds me a lot of Ryan Montgomery. Keep in mind, Ryan Montgomery started as a freshman a few weeks into his freshman campaign. And when you're saying that, that says quite a bit. Now,
high praise.
Promising that he's going to be a 4-star recruit and go to an SEC school. Let's not get
TBD.
Too carried away. But when you have that simple statement as a 15-year-old kid, maybe even 15, maybe 14 as a freshman here early in the school year, but this is a game similar, in my opinion, to the 𝗦𝗽𝗏𝗵𝘁𝗹𝘆 game. Findlay mopped Clay last year 42-7, and Clay has 9 of 11 starters back on offense, 6 of 11 back on defense. Mason 𝗦𝗫𝗀, 1 year better in a multitude of areas, throwing arm, footwork, escapability. He has all of that. They do, it seems like every year we bring up solidified the offensive line for Clay. But for Findlay, I think, Mike, this is a way for them to kind of feel their way out. They've tried the new personnel. When you got a brand new starting quarterback, they went from Ryan Montgomery to Riley Corcos to Landon 𝗦𝗽𝗏𝗵𝘁𝗃 here. You got new personnel. You got kind of ever-changing game plans because you got a new opponent, but then you're trying to fit your own pieces to the puzzle
works
together.
For our new identity, yeah.
Yeah, so starting this Friday, they got Clay, then Fremont Ross, then Springfield. On paper, Findlay.
Get right segment.
Maybe depending upon your point of view for this game at Clay, 3-0. You should win those games on paper. But after that, Findlay's got Anthony Wayne, Perrysburg, and Whitmer. That is their gauntlet run. So if I'm a head coach and I'm the coaching staff at Findlay, all right, let's try to get our ducks in a row here in these next few weeks. 1, stay healthy. 2, get our ducks in a row schematically. And then let's be ready to put our best foot forward for 3 straight gauntlet weeks.
And then for Clay, that's your cardinal pick. It's a big step up. You're trying to get back for the loss that Justin talked about last season. And Mason 𝗦𝗫𝗀𝗁 trying to go out on a high note against Findlay.
You know, and again, it's going to have to be Mason 𝗦𝗫𝗀𝗁 pulling the rabbit out the hat. You know, doing his best David Blaine impression just all game long, because the Clay's defense is going to be in trouble here. You know, they're going to have to step up, and they'll have to find a way, because this is a physical offensive unit. We saw last week with Southview, you know, they got boat raced. You know, I wasn't expecting that, you know, especially with 𝗦𝗽𝗏𝗵𝗁𝗁 stepping up and making the plays that he made. So I think that this is going to be a physical game. I think Stephen Adams is going to take the clock away from this team and keep the ball out of Mason 𝗦𝗫𝗀𝗁's hand. Again,
good plan.
It's
good plan.
I would do the same. And I think with the return of Reese Little and with Yeager and Watkins and those guys up front, I think they're going to lean on being more physical this game and trying to take the clock away, and especially when you get the speed with Ragland and Hines. Those guys are barn burners. So not saying that Clay doesn't have an offense to retaliate. I just think that their defense is going to have to really step up. So maybe this is the week we see Mason on some defense, playing some free safety, flying around.
Hey, I'm all for seeing Mason 𝗦𝗫𝗀𝗁 on the field anywhere we can get him. I don't care if he's returning kicks. Give me Mason 𝗦𝗫𝗀𝗁 highlights all day, but they need to bounce back. You talked about it defensively, because Whitmer really pushed the ball any way they wanted to, it felt like last week in that 45-14 win. So
I just want to tap on that last part thing I didn't mention, and we probably talked about it a little bit, is just their schedule coming up. I mean, you got Whitmer, lost that. You got Findlay and Perrysburg. You can absolutely go into Bowling Green 0-3, and that's not a team that you want to go in on 3-2.
Right.
Because Bowling Green, they are still physical and tough.
Yeah, they're going to want to run the ball, too, with the two-headed machine they've got in their backfield. We want to know who you think is going to come away with the win in this. Head over to our Twitter page, X, whatever you want to call it. Our Game of the Week poll ends tomorrow, Thursday at noon. Get your vote in. Catch this game on Friday, 7 p.m. on the NLL Network.